Hello everyone and welcome to the Differential FPL YouTube channel. I'm your host Shokwe and you are here for the watch. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching this video along with me today. So today on the watch I am going to be discussing some wildcard drafts. I have put together 3 wildcards drafts that I think we could have a quick look at. As you already know, I play my wild card in game week 4, I believe. Yeah, I played my wild card in game week 4. It's been going well since then. Thanks to Haaland and a few other guys that I brought in after anyway. But today, just to help out a couple of people with their wild card, decided to make a few drafts. If you catch, if you had a chance to view my the watch video last week, you would have seen the teams that I kind of advise people to target. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. You don't need to listen to that. But and then we had a video on Sunday where we looked at a lot of players that are doing well. So right now we're gonna see how those players kind of fit into a wild card, right? All right, so let's kick it off with the watch. Here we go. Boom. All right, so the first one, I call this first one the template. I think this is a boring one. For those just listening and not watching, I'm just gonna read it out. I also put some pros and cons here, just so of what I thought of the wild card when I created it. Right. So in goal, Dubravka. So basically, some of these players are gonna stay regardless. They're not gonna. It's not all gonna be changes to every single one player, but you know, obviously you can change them according to the price point. I try to make a wild card that definitely is within the that people can generally afford, right? So Dubravka 4.0, Pope 5.1 as my keepers. Pope is actually the keeper I used for all the wild cards. I believe he's looking good. He's 5.1 is not too bad. I like his price as well. Currently, I have Petrovic on my team. I have no plans to change him. But if I was on a wild card right now, think I would go. I think I would go for Pope, right? Depending on if I had the cash, right? Right. So Gabriel, 6.1 in defense. Trippier, 5.0. Trippier is one that we've spoken about quite a bit in the last few days. We like him because of his price, 5.0, and also because Livermento is going to be injured for a while. So at least you have that player, right? And Newcastle is also doing well. And then I have Gueye, and then I have Gunmonson, and then I have Diouf. Diouf is another one that features on all these wild cards as well. He pretty much features as a fourth defender, fifth mid, as a fourth defender kind of guy, mostly because because of his new manager, and he's so cheap. I feel like if it was on a wild card right now with the fixtures coming up for him, it's a no brainer to actually have him. Semenyo in midfield, Kudus, Reinders, Saka, Gordon, and in attack, Haaland, Yao Pedro, and Bowen. So I'm sure when you heard that midfield, Kudus, Reinders, you're probably thinking, why do you still have Reinders? Well, truth is, this is supposed to be like a really safe one. So Reinders is highly owned anyway, and he's 5.6, 5.5. I don't see any reason to kind of like hop in between him and someone else. He's basically not essential, especially in this team, because this team could easily go 4-4-2 and bench him, or it could go 4-3-4-3 and bench him. So either which way is he's not that essential. He's just a good Man City guy for when Man City have good fixtures, right? Kudus as well. He actually just came off a week where he had loads of points, and I don't like to take away players when they get points. I kind of like to leave it. I feel like it's bad luck a little bit, but I'm sure I've done it sometimes where I've taken someone off. But most times when someone scores points, I kind of lead them. And again, this is safe. A lot of people have it. So the pros of this wild card is that it gives you double Newcastle defense. We're actually good. We're being good defensively. Hopefully that's not a blip. It allows you to also have a bench boost in 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 either game week 9 or game week 10, even though Palace have somewhat of a hard fixture in game week 9, but it does give you that opportunity to play a bench boost, and then it's also safe, relatively safe. The cons, I feel like it's too safe. The money is spread out quite a bit. So, for example, if you decide that you do want a premium in the next few weeks, say a premium like Salah or you premium like what's his name again? Isaac, for example, it's very hard to get them in. You pretty much have to change 3, 4 players about. So it's not that flexible, and there's not a lot of money. It's like 0.4 in the bank, and also there's no Liverpool as well, right? So that's why I think about this one. Again, this one is one that I thought was just template. I just kind of like went for something safe with a few changes in defense, right? Obviously, no Senesi, who everyone has, right? Now, version 2. This one I call feeling spicy because I do like, I felt like I put a little bit of Atarodo in this one, you know. And, for people who don't know what Atarodo is that tiny pepper that's really pepperish. All right. This one again, Pope in goal. Dubravka as well. Nothing to change there. In defense, Gabriel Timber features in this one. Cucurella features as well. Goodmanson features and Diop features as well. In midfield, Semenyo Kudus Anthony from Burnley, Saka, and Enzo Fernandez. Now, Anthony could easily be, sorry, not Anthony. Kudus could easily be Minte if you want to add some Cameroonian spice to it as well, make it a little bit more spicy. So you could take off Kudus and put him there. In attack, it's Haaland, Strand Larsen, and Bowen. Now I like this team. Strand Larsen hasn't really done anything this season, but he is back and he has a couple of good fixtures coming up. So because of that, when you look at that, that's the reason why it's in this one. And again, the title of this one is feeling spicy. So what are the pros on this one? Well, you have your double Arsenal defense, which is looking good, not only because of how they defend, but also the fact that the defenders actually attack as well. Right? You have differentials all over the place. There are differentials. You have Anthony with Burnley, who's a differential. Enzo is a differential. Strand Larsen is a differential as well. So you've got nice differentials all over the place. And it's a fun team to have over the next couple of weeks. One thing about it is if you have Minte, makes it even a lot more fun. One thing about this team is that you're going to definitely be able to play a bench boost in the next few weeks. What are the cons? Well, only 0.1 in the bank, and it could be a bit too punty. So when I say too punty, just a bit too many differentials. And, if it doesn't work out, you could find yourself behind it very, very quickly. But I will say if you can find space in your attack for Strand Larsen, I would go there as well. Mainly because the attackers this season haven't done much, to be honest. But even though they haven't done much, I feel like someone like Strand Larsen, 6.4 right now, if he comes good, it's a nice solid bet. I'm just wishing for him to come good because I have Yao Pedro and I'm thinking of going off Yao Pedro. Not this week, not next week. In a few weeks, I'm thinking of going off Yao Pedro, and I'm hoping that Strand Larsen is good at that point, because if Strand Larsen is good at that point, then I could save myself some money and get him, right? This week, I'm going to get Bowen in. But yeah, so that's what I feel about this one. Call it feeling spicy, aka Atarodo spicy. Now, let's go to the next one. And this is the final one, version 3. I call this a wild Isaac. I don't know if you've ever watched what was it? What show? I can't remember what show it was, but these nature shows where they go, a wild rabbit or a wild whatever it is appears. That's kind of what I was going for. But anyways, this one has Isaac, same keepers, Gabriel Gueye and Timber on this one as well, which is good. Goodmanson and Diop, like I said, kind of make the list. Goodmanson could be anyone, really. It could be Rondon, it could be Alderente, it could be whoever you want. That's a 4.0 defender. I don't really care about them because mainly you're going to use them for like once the bench boost and just if they're on your bench. I'm not going to spend a lot of time thinking about the 4.0 defender at this point. In midfield, Semenyo, Minte, Anthony, Eze, and Enzo. Now, this one is actually a little bit more a little bit more punt. I wouldn't say more punty, but it kind of is a little bit than the previous one. But for some reason, it just seems a little bit more. I don't know if I want to say stat. I don't know what to call it, but the midfield is very punty in my opinion. Like you look at Minte in there, you see Anthony in there, you see Enzo in there. No, none of them main guys that correct get like consistent points anyway. So it's kind of like you're taking a big risk. But here's why you're taking a big risk, because I have gone Haaland, Isaac, and Bowen up front. Now, pros for this one: Liverpool cover, double Arsenal defense, bench boost ready. Um, it looks good, I would say. Three Arsenal players, including Eze. Eze has gotten a lot of traction this week. If you saw one of our videos, he had taken the most shots, I think, in Arsenal for the last 7 weeks. Even in the game, he has like 17 shots, which is a lot. Um, and with Odegaard out injured, it means that Eze is expected to get a lot of minutes in the next few weeks. And he does have Burnley Sunderland coming up as well. So that's why Eze is in here. So Eze has 3 assists. So, and with the amount of shots he's taken, one of them is bound to turn into a goal soon. So this could be the time to jump in on him. Enzo, because of Palmer injury, and we know that he's on pens, that's one of the main reasons why he's there. Minte, like I said, that's kind of like a fun pick. Anthony as well, looking good for Burnley, mostly because of Burnley's fixtures that are coming up. So what are the cons for this one? Well, number one, no Arsenal pen taker. There's no Arsenal pen taker to pick from here. No Saka, no Gyökeres, and the squad is imbalanced because the midfield looks really bad. It looks like you could have a little bit more meat in there in that midfield. There's a lot of money tied up in the striker position. Like right now, if you look at it, it's about, say if I say 14.3 plus 10.6, that's about 25. And then 25 plus 7, that's almost 30, 32. 30, is it 32? I don't know, 32 plus, whatever it is. But anyways, it does feel like there's an imbalance here in this squad. The midfield is particularly looking soft while the attack is looking strong, depending on if Isaac goes off. So if Isaac goes off, you're probably going to have a good one. But then again, you also look at the defense. You've got Pope in defense, which is good. You have Gabriel, you have Guehi, you have Timber, you have Munson, you have Diouf. Between those three, you could probably play 4 defenders if you wanted. So you could actually play 4-3-2 on 4-3-3 on this one and start someone like Semenyo, Eze, and Enzo, or rotate it out, whichever one. But that's where I am with this wild card. I would say my team is pretty safe at the moment, pretty templatey. So it's not like I'm going for any of these. But I'm putting this wild card together not just as a way for people to actually sort out their team for this week, but just a way to give you some players that are on the rise and that could do well as well. I see a lot of talk about DCL. We also talked about DCL quite a bit. So everyone kind of knows where I am with DCL. I think he's getting those chances, so eventually he's gonna score. You just have to kind of hope that you get him. But if you are playing him, I would say a bench boost. If you're planning to bench boost, it's a good time to have DCL. It's not that. Let me say this: it's not crazy. Now, in all these wildcard drafts, there's no Salah involved. I wanted to have a draft with Salah, but I just thought I've had Salah for like most of the season anyway, and a lot of people are going off Salah, so it might not be the best time. But if you want Liverpool cover, because it is Liverpool and they are going to score goals, you can hop on Isaac and hope that he starts to bang. So that's where I am. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know what your wildcards are like. Maybe I can steal a player or two off it. All right. Goodbye, and stay lucky.